Good morning, good morning, good morning. And we are entering day 2 of our introduction to Squad Up and our road to 300,000. We got such an incredible, overwhelming response from Black women and allies across the state, across the country yesterday. And we have just taken our first steps towards getting there. I want to thank again our filmmaker and producer, Damien D. Smith, and 4910 Rosalie Productions for that incredible video. We'll be playing it throughout the day. So very excited and grateful for that work. So today, I want to reiterate what we kind of talked about yesterday with the road to 300,000. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and I'm going to remind you all about coming and squatting up. If you go to She Squads Up, motivote.us, and I'll put that up here in a second, you will be able to get right on and start forming your squads. There are quite a few squads that are already forming. We've got groups of people coming on from all over the place. We even have people from across the country that are squatting up. You can see that I have formed my team. I'm already earning points. This is so easy. I put election day on my calendar. There we go. It is on my calendar. I would like it to go to my Google Calendar and save it. And there we go. I've got points for that. I'm up to 105 points already. Completed the action, earned 20 more points, 125. And so as you do these really easy actions, you earn these, you earn your points, and then you can go to the prize store. I will tell you guys, the prize that I'm going after is this signed copy of Becoming by Michelle Obama, 500 points. And to be honest, it's not that hard to get there. You know, it's just doing the basic necessities of checking your registration, inviting other people on the platform. We have some specialized actions where you can do a video pledge saying on video and posting it that you are going to vote. You get points for that. And all those points, once get to my 500 points, as I'm slowly creeping up, I'll be able to get this signed copy of Becoming by Michelle Obama. And so really excited about not just hosting this project, but being a part of the project as well. So today we are talking about our young people. You know, when we talk about civic engagement, we talk about voting, you know, we usually talk to people and about people 18 and older, because that are the ones who can actually go and pull the lever. But the reality is that all the work that we're doing is setting the world up for our young people to inherit, and for them to have something to move forward, for them to have, you know, a world that they want, for our young people to be able to dream. And they dream. They have desires, and they have things that they want us to do in order for us to get them over to the finish line and where they want to be. This summer, I got the privilege of hosting a group of young ladies in a program we called Cyber Justice, where we taught digital organizing. We taught them how to use Google Suite. We taught them how to use Canva. And one of the best parts of it was after they had conversations with Black women filmmakers on how to own and tell their own story, when they had conversations with Black women on all kinds of social justice issues. They worked with an organization called High Resolve and put together videos for change. We let the girls pick the issues that were important to them, that they wanted to highlight. And the 2 issues they chose were issues around Black girls' hair and voting. And they put together videos for change about voting. And I would like to share with you guys one video. I'm not going to be biased and say it's my favorite, but it is one of my favorites. But I'm going to share with you this young woman's video on voting. And maybe you all figured out why that is my favorite, because it was produced by my daughter, Peyton. And so Peyton and I have been having quite a few conversations. We even had a pretty incredible conversation this morning about voting and civic engagement. And so I'm going to bring Pepe on real quick. Come on, Pepe. And yeah, Pepe, why did you choose to do your video on voting? And what was it that you were talking about that you wanted adults to hear, know, and understand?
I chose voting because it's very important, and it's been like a thing for like, at least I've noticed a lot of people who are younger are like, I don't want to vote. And I'm just like, girl, if you don't get in that voting pool, like, ugh. But it's important, and I think as a teenager, like whenever I try to talk about politics and stuff, people are like, you're so inspiring and all these things. I'm like, okay, but did I inspire you to go vote on this bill or propose this bill and all this other stuff? And yeah. And I think there's a reason why, like a lot of people say, like my generation's very politically conscious and stuff. I'm like, there's a reason, because the world is messed up and we want to unmess it, clean up the mess.
Clean up the mess. So what kind of things do you want adults to know when they're stepping into the voting booth? When we go to pull the lever, what kind of things do you want us to take into consideration?
I want people to imagine themselves as 15-year-old growing up in the climate we are now, and think of the things as them as a 15-year-old would want to change, like environmental policies and all that. I know it's like save the turtles or whatever, but it's important. There's a reason why it became a trend, because it's important. So
that's real. Anything else you want to make sure people know and understand?
No.
Awesome. Thank you, Pepe.
Now I'm going to go.
And now she's going to go do her schoolwork. But she wanted to take time for that. So thank you, Pepe. I appreciate that. Okay, so one of the things that I get the privilege of doing, besides working with incredible young people, is also working with incredible adults who love and work with incredible young people. On my board, in my friend circle, y'all, I got dope Black women just surrounding me. And I get to introduce you all to one of my faves. And one of my faves for a lot of reasons, because this woman and I rock on every level. But we really rock when it comes to making sure that the people that need the tools to get their voices heard, to get the ability to make action go forward, are there. And so I'm going to bring up my friend, colleague, board member, sister chick, we're Greek family too, Delta, AKA, we'll discuss who made the best decision. But I'm going to bring up Timberland Sands. Hi, Tim.
Hey there.
Good morning.
Good morning to you as well.
How are you?
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yes.
It's a great morning.
It is a beautiful morning. It's incredible.
Beautiful morning. Absolutely. Yes.
So one thing that Tim and I'll be honest, we have co-conspired on some stuff, y'all. There's some work behind the scenes that y'all don't even know is happening that Tim and I work through. And Tim is taking time out right now because you're at work.
I am at my office in the midst of preparing for our big launch today.
Yes. So Tim is doing some incredible work, civic engagement with an incredible organization, her network, Inspire NOLA. And they are getting these kids all the tools that they need so that they are ready to learn. So when they step into the role of being civic leaders, they already got the stuff together. And they're informing us about what they need to prepare them to get there. And so Tim, I would love for you just to tell everybody what you guys are doing and what is happening this afternoon.
You know, one of the things that we often talk about is that this dynamics of leadership and who are the leaders and where's the next generation. And the generation is now, like the generation of 18 to 25, 18 to 30-year-old, however you decide or define young people, they are now. This is the first time in years and
Yes.
probably decades that 18 to 30-year-olds are in sidestep with baby boomers, right?
Yes.
And so they can actually turn the election. And our CEO and leader, Jamar McNeely, had the foresight, the insight to say, you know what, we're in a position that we can start creating and cultivating leaders at any age so that we don't have to wait till they're 18 and put a voter registration document in front of them and say, now go vote. We want them to be equipped, empowered, and knowing that voting is just one action to being civically engaged, just one.
That's one.
And so this summer we had what we called the Civic Boot Camp,
Okay.
where we opened up in the midst of COVID, we stayed within the guidelines, the health guidelines. So don't anyone think, oh, they went and got all these children. No, we stayed within the health guidelines, and we had 20 to 22 young people to join us for 4.5 weeks in really engaging and deeply thinking about how they want to see their peers
Yes.
be mobilized to be a part of this election cycle. And not just at a national level, because right now at the local level in New Orleans, there are some serious activities that's happening. We are in the midst of all 7 of our Orleans Parish School Boards members will be up, and we're up for the DA race. Like that's also a part of this particular election cycle.
Yes.
And so the young people, we informed them, we provided them with access to understanding what it is, and they created a campaign.
Yes.
They chose a name, and this is young people, not just from Inspire NOLA schools. This is a partnership of 8 diverse schools, both public and private schools. We are open and inviting others to be a part of it, and they came up with a name called YEV, Youth Educating and Advocating for Voting. Their campaign is Project Vote and Live, really focusing on like how the vote commits and promotes to their own quality of life. And they are really like mobilized and active. And today at 1:30, they will have their launch of their press conference to tell all about what their plans are, how others can be involved in it. They've started a text campaign so that they're recognizing that email is a limitation for some folks, and they want to be able to provide information on the spot in a timely fashion. You can vote. You can text YEV, and they will be sending out registration forms. We will receive them and mail them out. We want no excuses.
I love it. Tim, how do they, the launch at 1 o'clock? I want to make sure people know how to watch it. So where do they go to watch the launch?
So you can follow us on Vote and Live on Instagram, Twitter, and our Facebook is YEAV, YEAV.
All right, I am putting that up here so that people can see, know, follow, show up. Y'all tune in at 1 o'clock for their launch. I'm so excited. And is this correct, Tim?
That is correct.
Yes. Awesome. Yes. All right. I love it. I'm so excited about this work, Tim.
This is going to be amazing, Nia. And I think that what we're about to see is really when you give young people the actual access and tools to amplify their voices, they will amplify it. They will speak. They will say what they need to say. They will do what they need to do because they have a thought. It is not that they are apathetic.
Yep.
At all. I think that one thing that I learned in those 4.5 weeks, we have been hindering our own young people from being actively involved because we've made it seem as though what they say don't matter. And it was so interesting. We had several current elected officials to come in and speak to the young people, and they talked about how they don't use their campaign dollars to mobilize young people, and they were insulted because it was like, what? It's like, because we know you don't turn out to vote, and so that was a challenge to them. Their response was, I'll never forget, one young person said, well, guess what, you about to see us. And so they started this thing called facts and stats. So they would talk about, like, that's a fact or is that a stat? You know, they want to know what's the statistics. They want to know the data of what young people don't turn out. And so they're targeting that group. And not only are they saying that the 18-year-olds, we know you can vote, but we're looking at the ones before who are underneath 18, and we want them to pledge to vote so that they are prepared to vote. And we're going to have that data on the number of young people who qualify to vote every election. So don't think that November 2020 is going to be the year of YEV. They will be continuously going on and keeping this momentum going because they want to make sure that folks know young people are here. They are the now. They are not the future. So yes, that's us. Nia, you froze. Oh, I think I lost her.
There we go. All right, we got all things going at the same time, Tim. All right. I'm sorry, all this tech stuff. It's all right. We got it. We're gonna work through it.
You know, you and I always have these tech issues when we get together.
That's so real. But Tim, I just wanted to close out with kind of giving people an idea of the programs and projects that we've kind of talked about that we're going to be doing with these young people this cycle. Because I think we come up with some fun stuff for them to do.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that our group is very excited about the events that we'll be partnering with Citizen She, especially the interactive campaign and around the presidential and VP debate. They are ready to talk about that. We're biking to the polls to get these early voters out. And we are also really talking about the stats and facts and what we call Running Man Tuesdays, where we are showing active engagement around the candidates who are running on a local level.
Yes.
So folks can know, like, what's their history, and if they don't have a history, how have they shown up for young people in the work that they say that they're doing.
Yep.
You know, how do they show that youth voice matters and youth voting will matter?
Yes.
And how do we want to show up to show our support and thanks for those who have shown up for us?
Yep. I love it. Sam, thank you so much for this.
No
I want to remind everybody to 1 o'clock. Go on all their social media, Vote and Live, and see this wonderful press conference and launch that these kids have put together and are doing. I'm so excited about this, Tim. I can't wait to see what these young people do. I'm excited by hearing their voices and moving with them.
So any young people, and it doesn't have to be just with schools, if you are a church group or a youth organization, if you have a group of young people who also want to be a part of YEV, please feel free to contact us by texting hashtag YEV, and Follow us on all social media platforms.
I'm gonna put that up here right now, Tim. Right, EAV text for more information. I want people. I want all these young people. You know, I know people don't want to get involved.
Absolutely. We want them to get involved, and so that number would be. I'm trying to find the number. I'm going to text you the number, Nia, because I don't have it in front of me. But I will definitely give you the number.
And we'll put it in the comments. We'll put it in the comments so people, when they watch it again and they go back, they can see exactly where to go and how to get in touch.
Sounds great.
Awesome. I love you with my whole heart. I'm grateful to you. Yes. Have a good one.
Road to 3,000.
Yes. Bye, Tim. Oh my goodness, that was so incredible. I'm so grateful for the Black women in my life. I'm so grateful for the Black women that are in my world, in my space. And speaking of gratitude for Black women in my world, in my space, there is one Black woman that I have loved for a very long time. Her name is Wende Frequency Katwiwa. I met Wende many years ago when my youngest daughter was writing poetry. And she took her under her wing and embraced her and loved her as her. And developed her to be the vocalist and the spoken word artist that she wanted to be. Since then, I have worked on many projects with Frequency. At my work with Women with a Vision, which is an incredible organization here in New Orleans, 30 plus years old, that works with marginalized Black women around every intersectional issue that you can think of. If you are, you should be familiar with WAVE if you are living in this city or state, because their work impacts your life. But if you're not familiar with WAVE, go look them up, Women with a Vision, run by an incredible Black woman, Deanne Haywood. And their work is like, if it impacts Black women's lives, WAVE has their hand in it. And so just really proud of that work, really proud to know Wende. And as a poet, she, again, like we had Icon yesterday, she has graced us and gifted us with one of her poems. And I will say that every time Wende speaks, it gives me pause and gives me grace. And so I'm really excited to share this with you guys.
Hello, my name is Frequency, and I'm excited to be joining y'all for Squad Up, hosted by Citizen She. The poem I'll be reading today is called Embracing Weakness, and I dedicate this to all strong Black women. Claire Huxtable was one of the only positive images of a Black woman I remember from my childhood. The wife of a Black doctor, a mother to 5 children, and a law degree. I mean, damn. This was Superwoman, and I wanted to be just like her. A few years later, I discovered comic books predated the civil rights era. I discovered no matter how much I wanted it, that red S wasn't meant for Black characters. Then I discovered the women that looked like me were remnants of caricatures. Jezebels who jumped from their towers and landed booty first in hip-hop scenes. Aunt Jemima mammies who took off their aprons and donned their crowns as welfare queens. If only we had a woman to give to our daughters as role models, we begged and pleaded, lifting our faces to the heavens, asking the gods to send us the she that we desperately needed when, look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a strong Black woman. You know who I mean. A sister who achieves by any means but understands the necessity of putting her dreams on hold to uphold the community. And this is the image we created to give our daughters the strength of superwomen. But it's tragic when we pretend to be the Picassos of our painful past. Because like scarlet A's on women's bodies to illustrate the romance between sexism and society, this symbol was ripped onto Black women's chests until it bled a red S on the wedding night of racism and sexual brutality. Because like most stereotypes, a strong Black woman has her roots in slavery's trees. Just another character written into the master's mythology that went a little something like this. Once upon a time, there was 2 women, both living in different hells. One was Southern patriarchy. Above all, should be a wife but wasn't expected to satisfy her needs, so laying on her back became one of the Black woman's duties. After all, she was strong enough to take it. I mean, what strength it must have taken to work the fields and the bedroom unwillingly. What strength it must have taken to have children knowing they were black oil in the gears of slavery. What strength it must have taken to have a breast full of milk from these same children so the child of your race could feed. To survive by becoming scapegoats of American history, torn down in mind and through the exploitation of our strong bodies. Somebody tell me how we managed to adopt another one of racism's bastard children. Held her high up to the light that she was kryptonite to our daughter's improvement. Because what the hell is the point of teaching them to be superwomen when they don't have superpowers? Black women have never been known to stop bullets in our path. Instead, we're better known for clutching our kin close when we hear the guns blast. How can we be deemed super when we cannot even fly? When we are history's caged birds who were never taught to sing, let alone spread our wings, locked in cages till we anamorph into bird-brain beings, chicken heads clucking in video seats until flight became a distant dream. What bitter irony in comparing us to a hero with self-healing abilities, when in reality, Black women are at the highest risk of everything from heart disease to HIV, not to mention the emotional pain that we shoulder for our communities. And I don't know the last time I picked up a dictionary, but I do know this quite well. There's either something wrong with our definition of strength or our definition of self. Thank you, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the programming.
I'm just gonna sit with that for a second. You know, those words that she graced us with are very real. You know, there's a beauty, you know, entrenched in navigating as Black women. There's a camaraderie, but there's also a reality in how the world would like us to experience life that is outside of what matches our humanity. And one day, Frequency did a phenomenal job in taking us on that journey. So thank you so much for that point. So I'm just gonna wrap up a little bit. I'm reminding you all, go to shesquadsup.motivote.us, form your squads, form your team, get your people together, listen to each other, you know, talk to your young people, talk to your children, your neighbors, you know, their friends. You know, give them the ability to speak and say what they want, what they need, what they're expecting from the adults in their lives, the world that they want to inherit. You know, in order for them to really feel like they're a part of this, we have to bring them in and listen to them and allow their voices to be heard. And thank you all so much for spending time with me this morning. I like to close out with our video from our filmmaker and producer, Damon D. Smith, 4910 Rosalie. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful, extremely lovely day. Maybe not. So I'll play this video later on today and throughout the day because I'll be honest, you know, these videos really exemplify what we're trying to do and what we're trying to push. But we will be playing the video around Black women and civic engagement and what it means for us to be civically engaged throughout the day. My computer is just acting funny today, but that's okay. It's technology world. Anyway, you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys on the other side. See you tomorrow. Bye.